So I forgot to update you guys after I went to California and spoke with the doctor down there about the liver shunt. So currently what they said is they do want to hold off and wait. The bleed that I had in my abdomen was from overcoagulation when I was hospitalized. And so that caused a bleed in my abdominal sheath. And so any surgery for me is a risk, obviously. He said it's still a possibility that I'll get a surgery, but he wants to get the results of the GI doctor's reports from this last colonoscopy and EGD I did. So today is the 7th of January 2020. Finally getting back to seeing them. I'm in the parking lot waiting so I can see what he says. My appointment's here in about 15 minutes, so I'll be up there on my way to check in here soon. And I just thought about to go ahead and vlog before. So I'll get to see exactly what the doctor, I'll get to hear exactly what the doctor saw. Besides what he didn't tell me, because I know he didn't tell me stuff. Hopefully he reviewed the records that I told him about so he can see that I do have UC that I already told him, because I did do blood work panels prior to seeing him, ordered by a different doctor, which had an ANH heater, had some other autoimmune disorders on it, to see if I had any of those, just so we can try and figure out exactly what's going on, because he didn't review any of that stuff. The doctor said depending on what's found here, because I'll be sending him a copy of the records from here, he can decipher what he would like to do. He said there is a possibility instead of shunting, maybe they'll remove the spleen in order to relieve some of the pressure put on the portal vein. He said, however, that still has its risk. A lot of people who get their spleen removed do still bleed out, or will have bleeding issues, not bleed out, but have bleeding issues after the spleen removal, which, of course, that would still make me high risk, which doesn't matter. Anything is going to make me high risk because of my clotting disorder and needing to be on anticoagulation. I spoke with my hematologist already. She's just glad I'm finally seeing somebody who will listen to me, because she's been in this battle alongside of me for quite some time, trying to get a GI doctor for me, and it's been very, 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 very difficult. The GIs here in Vegas don't listen, so having to resort to surgery is really our last choice. But if that's what I have to do to know that my quality of life will be better and I don't have to worry, I would rather do that. But like I said, I run the risk either way with getting the surgery, not getting the surgery, because I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, well, why would you get the surgery if, there's a risk of you bleeding? Think about this. Would you rather have a risk of bleeding and being in a controlled setting like a hospital, where they have blood on hand, they have everything ready for you in case that does happen so they can help you? Or would you rather be at home, sleeping or eating or just regular day, you not know what's going on, and you have a vein burst and you find out not even necessarily within an hour or two of that happening, and you're either having a bowel movement or you're sitting at home and you start to vomit blood, and then you have to go to the ER, and now they're trying to get everything they need for you. Even if you know you're A positive, they still need to test you again, because they have to verify that your blood hasn't changed. Yes, your blood can change. You can become Rh negative, Rh positive. They check different things to make sure that you're still able to receive certain bloods. Not everybody can receive a universal donor, so they have to test certain things. So sometimes even right then, even though yes, it could be risky, they'll give it to you, but if they feel like they can hold off and wait until the results come back, which can, they can take a minute, not super long, but with the rush to lab, it can still take a minute to get your results back. So if you think about it in that manner, which would you prefer? I do have 2 children. I have a son and I have a daughter, and my oldest child is 13. She'll be 14 here soon. For me, I would rather risk the controlled bleed, because that controlled bleed, I know that my situation is still a risk, but I have a greater chance of survival from that as opposed to the latter. So I just want to check in with you guys before I go into the GI doctor and see what they have to say today. And I'll check back in with you later today, probably when I'm home and not sitting in my car in a parking lot. Kind of just depends on how I feel after this. I'm hoping for good news. Who knows? He did biopsy. Biopsies can give you all kinds of results that you do or do not want. So we'll see where my spirits are after. But I've had biopsies before and they've resulted in, oh, it was nothing. So it could definitely be nothing, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. It was nothing. But I do want to talk to him about the other things and see what exactly he's proposing we do, because the GI in California says they need to start me on something in order to keep me from having a risk of bleeding, because I'm not even on a maintenance medication. I should be on like a blood pressure medication, even though my blood pressure is really, really great. When you have portal vein hypertension, your blood pressure everywhere else is great, but that portal vein, it is not great, which is what causes the varices. And that is what causes your risk of bleed, because you're causing pressure buildup in that area particularly. But I'm not even on a maintenance of anything to keep that blood pressure down. However, I really don't want to take another medication because I'm already on, like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 pills, whatever. I'm on quite a few medications already. So if you think of a regimen where you're taking about 12 pills a day, just as, regular stuff that you have to take, and then you're adding another medication on top of that, it's just another pill, another pill, another pill, another pill, another medication. It becomes a lot. And it's stressful, and it's hard to maintain a regimen where your day is pills, and my body doesn't break down medications like a lot of other people's do. So I can't just take a medication or take all of them at once, even if it was something that I could do. Some of my pills I take multiple times a day, so it's not like I can take them all at once anyway. But even if I could, so I take a couple pills that for my genetic disorder vitamins, but I can't take all my vitamins at the same time, because with my stomach, it does not break down my medications all at once, so I can't do that. So I take medications throughout the day. So it's multiple pills, multiple times a day. So it's not like, oh, first thing in the morning I take 4 pills, first thing, in the afternoon. So it's like I take a couple in the morning, a couple in the afternoon. I should take a couple midday, and I take a couple before bed. So I have to break them up, or my body won't absorb them. And if my body doesn't absorb them, then I'm taking medication for no reason, because I am not getting any benefits from it. Okay, so I'm really going to go now. Bye. My name is Christina once again, and I am headed into my doctor's appointment.